What if you were asked to wear headphones every time? Would you say, I hate these headphones. I will no longer come back to CBC if it becomes a congregation that uses headphones? I may be stepping on some cozy, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that if we have love and wisdom, maybe there are a lot of things that can become to evolve, to change, all for the better, for the glory of God, for the glory of God's church, for the glory of God's purpose, for CPC. Now, I don't know what, but I can only come and minister to you in the Word of God, the most important principles that is here enunciated. Therefore, love one another deeply. Why? Because love covers over a multitude of things. If I love, then I go through these three languages with love, with joyfulness. Fine. If I love, and I say that in order to save time and to be more efficient, let us just have one single language. Since we're all in Australia, since we're all using English, why don't we just go full steam in English? So the congregation may just explode to embrace all English-speaking people. And then at the same time, all other ethnicities can also be included into our lovely community as long as we provide for translations and other independent monolingual services, ministries for all of us. I don't know. But I'm trying to say that love is the ability to accommodate. Love is the ability not to complain, not to be grumbling all along. Love is the ability to adjust. Love covers a multitude of sins. And here I would just go into the community life. Sometimes when I minister among Chinese churches around the world, I find it very sad that there is always a lot of gossiping, a lot of bickering. I think all these things must change. I have encouraged my people that when you love each other, love one another, then do not talk behind people's back. Then be able to discuss issues in a civilized way, in a polite way, in an intelligent way. And when you see people in the wrong, go directly to that person, gently urging them to change their ways. If people would come up to me and say, young man, I don't like what you have said today. I think here you have overstepped your bounds. I would praise you. I would be humble. I'd be willing to learn and to listen. But if people do not come to me, and they would just say, talk behind my back, and go around and say, this guy is bad, without me knowing how bad I was, then my faults, my sins, would not have been covered. It would have been exposed and expounded and enlarged. You see this important thing? Love covers a multitude of sins. It does not mean cover up. Covering does not mean covering up. It means that with love, we deal with people in gentleness, in sincerity, in kindness. So my message to you this morning is that let us learn to love more and more. Whatever goes on, learn to do things, say things with a heart of love. All right? All right? Okay. I've been reading your centenary history, and I say, wow, this is exciting. This church can have this 180 years. Not many Chinese congregations in the world. have this longevity. And you should be very, very grateful and spiritually proud about it. And in the days to come, I pray that this may be a greater congregation in the eyes of God and the eyes of people around us. Several weeks ago, I was talking with Patrick Fong, Dr. Patrick Fong. I hope you do remember him. And he is now the General Director of OML International. I count it a great honor to have one Chinese person leading this multinational, international missionary force of our world. And you know what? CPC is Patrick's home church. He came to the Lord while he was a medical student here in the city. It's amazing. And you know what Patrick said to me? He said, I am forever grateful to this church that has so much love to embrace us when we were just young students. And he also paid great compliment to the then younger elders in the mid-30s or early 40s. I will not name names, but you know who they are. That they're still serving. And Patrick has this passion, has this heart, that may the love of God continue to fill this congregation and also to raise up a new generation of leaders. So my bumbling message is all about learning to love. To love means to give space to other people. And you have been doing it. You have been giving space to immigrants from Hong Kong. Now you have been giving space to immigrants from the mainland. You have always been welcoming to all Chinese-speaking people from all over Southeast Asia. And how to define this church, how to move on, I think you need great wisdom. But above all else, that love. Not quarrels, not fights, not angers, not complaints, but love. Be the power that moves you forward. And I think in all eternity, we will say, thank God for sending us here in Sydney and to be His faithful people. Living a different life from people around us. An attractive life that people may come and say, we want to become members of this glorious church. I remember when I was 5, I was about 9 years of age. I might have been to this farewell party to our pastor. And eventually he came here to become your pastor in 1959 to 1964, I think. And I'm so glad that today, at the invitation of his son, the Reverend David Chan, I'm able to renew fellowship with you, and may the Lord bless you. 咁我都要講返兩句廣東話，兩句潮州話，幾句普通話。其實我今天沒什麼講，我講的只是很簡單，就是我们基督徒，我们在基督第一次再來與第二次再來之間，我們是活在這段時間裡面，所以我們要對這個時間很有這個概念。118年就是一個很好的時間的計算的時候。那麼當我們計算這個時間，我們也計算自己的時間。我們這世界上生活的時間很有限。另外就是我們總是等待那一天來到，這耶穌基督要回來的那一天。在這兩個時間之間，我們所謂何事？我們所謂的只有一件事，就是要追求改變，成為像耶穌基督一樣的人。然後彼得告訴我們，最重要的對一個教會來講， 最重要的不是财富，不是学问，不是什么其他的东西，最重要的就是彼此切实的相爱。切实这一个字，好像一个运动员在冲线的时候，他尽了每一分的力量，他就是要达到那个目的。我们在爱心方面，在彼此尊重方面，也应该是这样。在这一个两文三语的一个聚会里面，有时候有3个人，每一个都讲一次，其实很费劲的，你觉得是不是？那如果在这个地方让你听英文怎么办？你说我不会听。那如果是有爱心的话，我就是听这个耳机比较方便，我们大家更喜乐，用爱心带着这个耳机，好耳机，好像你在家里面听音乐一样快乐，好不好？这个不是二等公民不二等公民的问题，这是用爱心在主的家里面，希望这个聚会进行的更加畅顺。当然，我不是说这是必须做的事情，我只是举一个例子，就是用爱心来一起生活，我们大家一定生活得更加快乐，对不对？给反应。